Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Elite City Podcast. We're daytiming it today. Just doing it on a different day. We're doing our recap of Full Gear, and Rick will probably talk about air frying a little bit. But other than that, that's why we're here.
Yeah, this is because you guys have to have your Thanksgiving on a
Correct.
Thursday for some bizarre reason. That makes no sense, but carry on.
Blame the pilgrims.
Oh, we do. Don't worry. We've written them for many things. Anyway,
Exactly.
Continuing on. Full Gear.
Full flipping gear.
Good show. I enjoyed it.
Well, did you read the internet?
Yeah, the internet was mad, shockingly. I know. They're never
about
mad.
What? Like,
Everything.
Well, obviously, but like there was nothing for me to even like remotely complain about.
That's my least favorite thing to do, which I do all the time, is I'll watch an AEW pay-per-view, and then I'll be like, oh, that was great. I liked it. Let's see what other people think. And then I get mad.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed myself, and then like, nope, everyone else hated it and thought it was bad. And I'm like, what? Did they what? I don't understand. But
why are wrestling fans so cranky?
they don't like anything.
Yeah.
It's because it's the internet.
Is this true for other things, though? Like, do people watch an episode of, like, Survivor and then
Yes.
go online and everyone's like, I hate that show? Is that...
I literally, me and my buddy just had this conversation. We now live in a world, it's like everything's tribalism. Like, you either like it or hate it. There is no more middle ground. And
Right.
if you like it, you tell everybody how much you do and how wrong they are for not. And if you don't like it, you also do the same thing.
I also like how my reference for a current television show is Survivor, which has been on for, like, 25 years.
Good call. I at least knew the reference. Like, if you would have said something I didn't know, it's like, cool, TV. Anyway, yeah, the internet hates everything, and that's just like I get like that you're a faceless being and you could just troll and be like whatever you want, but like, why does it have to be negative? Like, is there positive trolls?
Also, like, I understand people get mad when, like, what happened wasn't
Right.
what they wanted to happen.
Correct.
But,
Correct.
like, it's not, the show's not just for you. It's for, like, a wide
Right.
audience. So, like,
Right.
never will there be a time when, like, everything you want to happen, specifically you, happens. Like, that's not realistic.
Well, unless you're Vince McMahon,
Or
then
Tony Khan. Yeah.
every week that those two people, yes, then everything can happen
Yes.
their way. But I forgot what I was gonna say. So, now I remember now. People on the internet, back to people on the internet. It's like them hating on the pay-per-view. It's like people are like, oh, well, they didn't tell us who the devil was. Well, they never told us that they were going to.
Right.
Us as an audience assumed that we were going to find out.
Right.
Like, yeah, I was let down, but I wasn't like mad.
Right.
Because again, expectations.
Like, people were upset about Jay White being like, oh, he wasn't booked the way I wanted. Like, it was pretty clear he wasn't going to win to all of us.
Right.
Except for you guys, apparently. It was clear to me. You guys were clearly wrong. But I knew, because I'm very intelligent.
Correct.
I knew MJF was going to win.
I also picked Jay White.
Yeah. So, but like, I don't know why people were mad. Like,
Right.
obviously, there's two choices. One of them's going to win and the other one's not.
Right.
Like,
yeah. And it's not real. So it's not even like a 50-50 shot. Like, someone writes a name on a piece of paper and it's like, oh, they're winning tonight.
and I can understand if, like, the thing they did with Adam Cole, like, I can understand not liking that because it was I didn't love it either. I
Same
thought that was an odd choice that they made. But it's not like Adam Cole came into the match and now he's the AEW champion. And you're like,
Right.
well, that's not what I expect. Like, I could see being mad at that
Right.
but if it's one of the guys who's in the match, that's not that strange to assume what happened. Anyway.
Real quick, off topic. Biddy,
Yes.
your avatar, are you holding a machine gun?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no one else can see this, but not Billy. Biddy looks Briffney looks very threatening in that.
Yeah,
there.
1000% never noticed that. I just looked up, was like,
Once upon a time, I was hot, and I did a modeling gig for a gun advertisement, and part of my payment was getting to shoot all this crazy person's guns.
That sounds
interesting.
incredibly sketchy, but okay.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Here, can you stand here and hold this gun? I'll let you shoot it afterwards. I have to take a bunch of photos of you first.
Don't worry, it's fully loaded. And I removed the safety, so it's okay.
All of that sounds sketchy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I
anyway,
didn't watch the
sorry.
pre-show. Did you watch did you guys watch the pre-show? I didn't watch it.
No.
I did, yes. The pre-show was good. Again, it basically, other than the Claudio match, you basically knew everybody was going to win. Like, Eddie wasn't going to lose the title, or
I mean, we all picked the guns, but that was our point.
Right, but that was also because that one would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
We didn't know that Adam Cole was going to be there, blah 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 blah.
Right.
But like, and they open with Eddie. Like, I kind of thought, like, again, I don't want to say it's a slap in Eddie's face. Eddie's paid his dues and whatever. He's probably just happy to be there. But he's a world champion now. I know the tag team it's a world championship, but like, you don't open with the world champion and then close your pre-show with a kind of a bootleg title match.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna win. He wasn't gonna lose the ROH World Title in a pre-show match to Jay Lethal.
Right, especially the very first match.
Yeah, that was not happening.
Yeah. So, anyways, but it was okay. Claudio and Buddy Matthews like totally forgot that it was the pre-show and just beat the holy heck out of each other. Like, seriously, if you guys want to watch a good match, watch it. I mean, I was like, settle down, guys. Like, if you're setting the bar this early, like, people might be mad backstage.
Well, Claudio doesn't set the bar; he is the bar.
Damn it! That's what I was working towards,
or at least half the bar.
True. Do you think
now on that note?
Yes.
Claudio left WWE because for whatever reason, he's kind of in the same spot he was in WWE, where he's
true.
like a not a mid card, but like he's a high end mid card guy, like a upper mid card guy who's like near the title but not competing for the. He's in tag team matches a lot with Wheeler Yuta. He's kind of in the same spot. Do you think he should be in that spot?
No, I definitely think he should be like higher, but again, you write yourself, you got a little conundrum on your hands, because then the entire Blackpool Combat Club would be, there's take Yuta out because Yuta's not in the world title picture, but like 3 of the 4 would be in the world title picture, and that's just like, I don't know. To me, that's too much of one thing. So to keep him separate kind of makes it.
That's true. That was actually going to be one of my questions. What do we think of the BCC right now? Because to me, they seem kind of like they're directionless.
I was just going to say they seem a little stagnant.
Yeah, it's almost like how we used to forget that the LFI existed.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they say BCC during the show a million times and they wear their shirts and everything, but it's like, as far as a group goes, like, they haven't cut promos together. Claudio only goes to the ring with whoever. Like, Danielson's never around.
Yeah, Claudio and Yuta seem kind of like a team, but the rest of them, even Mox, like he's obviously in it, but he's not like.
Yeah.
It was really cool when they formed. It was cool when they had that idea of like, we're gonna get young guys in, but they kind of only got Wheeler Yuta, and they didn't really get anyone else.
True.
I feel like maybe they should have got someone like Daniel Garcia or somebody, because it is kind of just 3 main event guys doing their own main event stuff, and also Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah. Didn't you tell me, Rick, that you had read somewhere that Danielson and Jericho fought over Garcia?
Yeah, that was like legitimate. Like, they actually, Danielson wanted him in the BCC, and Jericho was like, no, we want him in his group, which for some reason they keep calling the former JAS, which is another problem I have.
Oh God.
Either give the group a new name or stop making them a group.
Right.
Calling them just the former JAS all the time is odd. But yeah, I think that was an actual argument. Well, not argument, but they both wanted. I don't think Danielson's ever been in an argument in real life. I feel like he's just like, all right, that's cool, and then just like moves on and does something else awesome.
Yeah, that's me and Danielson are kind of the same. Like, I could care less about arguing with you about anything.
And both outstanding pro wrestlers.
If I'd wrestle him, yeah, definitely. But any other way, no. It's. Anyways,
so, Adam Cole stuff. What did you think of the Adam Cole stuff? Like the pre-show Adam Cole stuff. I didn't see it.
Oh, now you're gonna make me remember. It was a cool, like, surprise, like, because you knew, like, if he wouldn't have had a walking boot on and they could have maybe played it off, like, oh, is he really gonna do it? Like,
Right.
We also know he just had surgery 9 days ago.
Right.
like obviously he's not going to do anything.
Right.
But I get it. It was a cool little oh my God moment. But other than that, once it was over for me.
And you were right that it kind of gave away the world title match, because as soon as Joe helped MJF, you're like, oh, then MJF's going to retain the title.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what's the point of this Joe helping MJF thing if it doesn't get a title match out of it?
Right. So it was a bit I don't know, as far as surprises go, it was mid-level, but whatever. That's all.
On to the main show.
That opened with was it 6-man, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair in their corner.
Ugh.
I didn't even do anything. I paused. I knew it was coming from someone. So 2/3 of us did it. That was great. Versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. I thought it was a very good match. I didn't think it had any business being as good as it was, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Christian is just great on his own. So kind of anything he's involved with is going to be great.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are all good too. So yeah, it was good. I like that Ric Flair. First of all, Ric Flair I know he's 80. But Ric Flair now has the absolute weakest chops and punches anyone has ever seen.
Yes.
And Christian having to sell for them, they should just give him extra money. Perhaps, but he got to kick him in the balls or whatever. So that was nice.
Which was a throwback, which I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Flair did it to Christian in TNA in literally the exact same situation, almost in the exact corner.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. So it was that was kind of cool. But all jokes aside, but this is hilarious. Every time I see Flair, it's dude's gonna die. He's gonna get too amped up, and his heart's just gonna explode when he's out.
Yeah. I can't believe it hasn't already happened.
Exactly.
Didn't he pass out? Legitimately pass out in that
during his match,
final match?
Yeah. For a minute and a half or something.
Yeah.
He just laying on the apron. Right.
And Andrade had to wake him up. That's not good.
And
at that point, I'm sure someone or everyone has to be just stop, man. Just stop.
Exactly.
This is elder abuse.
It's he does it to himself. That's the thing that sucks. Just get over it. Again, none of us are ever get that. I'm sure the buzz that you get, an adrenaline rush for being in front of that crowd is awesome. I get that. Yeah. But like you said, he's 78? I mean, you can't live in the limelight forever unless you're an actor. But
do we think that there's a chance Tony Khan has just signed him just because Andrade's you got to help him out, man. Just give him something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
how long is his deal?
It's apparently 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. I thought it was 5. I'm if he lives out, if he lives that long, I will be shocked.
No, I feel though Ric Flair is one of those guys like Keith Richards who they had a hard life and they did everything wrong.
That is true too.
Physically to themselves, and somehow they're gonna both live to be 110.
Yeah.
There's
anyway, I've decided that I'm gonna ask you guys one question for each match.
Perfect.
So my question for this match is, when do we get Copeland versus Christian in an actual one-on-one match? Because Christian avoided on this time.
Yeah.
They're gonna tease it out as long as they can, I think. Maybe Revolution.
Yeah, that would make sense because that's March.
February.
I was gonna say, is that February?
It's February, March-ish, depending on the year. But
right.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a good amount of time to build it up and stuff, and then have it at Revolution.
Yeah, that'd be a good build through the winter and then end it at spring. Give them 2 new things.
Yeah, I think that's good. That makes a lot of sense.
Good call, Biddy. Good call, Biddy.
Yep.
So just real quick, does that feud automatically end with the hug and the fanfare and Christian admits that he was wrong and we get the run as together, or do you just not see them together for a few months and then you get the
I think that's what you do. I think it leads to like them not being around each other for a long time, and then not a long time, but a while, and then either
Copeland, like someone makes the save or something.
Yeah, Copeland's getting attacked by someone, or Christian's getting back, and the other one comes out and saves them.
Yeah, that's way cooler.
Like there's some like especially bad attack. Like I don't know, someone's gonna throw him off a cliff or something, and then the other guy comes out and helps him.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, sick. Moving on.
Orange versus Mox.
Unbelievable.
I think I forgot about this match. Like, not that it wasn't good, because as I was watching it, it was good. But like, that's my question for this one. I'm just gonna get to it right away.
Yeah.
Should Orange have just beat Moxley the first time?
I'll play devil's advocate because I'm sure the answer is going to be no. So I'll say, I'm sure the answer is going to be yes. So I will say no, because then if Mox doesn't get hurt, there's really no question. It was a clean win. Mox would have been the champion until he decided not to be, or they told him he wasn't going to be. Like, I think it would have been very accepted.
Yeah, I think if Moxley had not gotten hurt, and you're right, and Orange was kind of, he'd beaten everybody at that point. So if he beat Mox, he was kind of just, he'd beaten everyone. I just, like, someone pointed this out online, I forget who it was, but that if Orange had beaten Mox the first time, that would have been like legitimately huge. Everyone would have like, but this time was kind of just like, oh, he beat him. That's cool. Like, it wasn't the moment that it would have been if he beat him the first time.
That's very true.
But you're right. If Mox has had like a real title reign, this might, like, Orange might be in a totally different feud right now.
Yeah, like, like obviously Mox would be defending the belt here, there, and everywhere. Like, maybe Orange would have been in the world title picture. I don't know, or somewhere, obviously. But yeah. Biddy, since I said yes, you could, or no, you could say yes.
Yes.
Yay. I just figured that we were both going to say yes, so I wanted to know.
Yeah, like I was still kind of annoyed when Orange lost the first time, because I thought he should have beat him. So I wish he kind of would, because Mox can take it. Like, Mox could lose the next 50 matches in a row, and it wouldn't matter. He's still going to be over. He's still going to be like a threat. So it would have really, like, at this point, Orange beat him, and I was just like, okay. It doesn't feel like a defining thing like it could have been.
Real quick, because we forgot to talk about it. While on Mox, if you haven't seen, go onto Renee's Instagram. Rick, I know you've seen it. Mox's Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah. It was just
the greatest thing ever that he ripped 2 holes in. Like, he didn't even cut them. It was so awesome.
He probably just used his teeth to rip the holes in it.
Yeah.
He pulled out a fork and just stabbed holes through it.
He's such a monster. Like, that picture and the picture of him after his, I think it was against Nick Gage, when he went through the plate glass. There's a picture of him in the backyard with a bleeding back playing with his daughter.
Yeah. And like, isn't there one of him walking the dog with a USB cable too?
No, she Renee just tweeted that or something, but that's how Mox walked the dog. She was looking for her phone charger and he couldn't find.
He said he couldn't find the leash. He just put a phone charger on the dog and took it out.
And it was Renee's, which is like, he didn't use his own. He used hers.
That's great.
Anyways, that's incredible.
Yeah, good match. I liked it. I'm glad Orange won.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Now the moment we were all waiting. One of the moments we're all waiting for.
Bum, bum, bum. Timeless Toni Storm. See what I did there? Versus Hikaru Shida.
Let me just say, I love that she's not from LA, has no association with LA whatsoever, but just decided that she's going to act like a 1920s Hollywood star. And now it's like it's her hometown.
Yes,
yeah.
Great. It was her homecoming.
Oh. Well, and the commentators making like old Hollywood jokes all throughout this match cracked me up.
See, like I semi caught that, but I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna have to go back. Once you pointed that out, Biddy, I was like, damn it, I missed like all the inside stuff.
Nigel had a couple like zingers.
I love Nigel.
I do
that's
too.
Awesome.
Did you see the letter that she wrote?
Yes. Dearest Anthony. And when he read it like with her accent, like that means Toni can act. He has to be doing Mr. Monotone on purpose.
Dear Anthony, please excuse the absence of your little server. I had to board an airplane. I'm going to Peter Lawford's beach house for the weekend, who's dead. Nevertheless, I am still your new AEW Women's Champion, and I expect to be lauded as such this Wednesday on the Turtle Broadcasting Station. Give Ted my best. If you must talk about me, do be kind and don't drink so much coffee. Forever timeless, Toni Storm.
Also, 2000% RJ City wrote that in 9 seconds and knew all those references and how they would have been funny.
She's great. So she couldn't keep the thing inside of her tights. It kept falling out.
That was funny. Like when it slid down her leg and she just put her hand on it and then ran with her hand on her thigh. Oh, it was so like, but as funny as that was, like that proves how good of a pro she is. She didn't stop and like reset. She was in real life. You were trying to hit someone. You'd be like, hold on a minute, bud. Let me, before I hit you with this, let me line it up. Like, she just grabbed it and then went. And like, that was a really cool moment of improvisation / well, we're live.
Yeah.
So
that little right before she hit Sheeta with that, I called it yesterday, the butt bomb or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good name for it.
It is.
Butt bomb. That's what my butt does all the time. But anyway, fart joke. Anyway, she did that like Vogue thing and then did it and cracked up. Like she's so good.
She's incredible. And this is like the fact that this is like a brand new, like this character has been around for what, a couple months?
Yeah.
And she's made it so good so quickly. Like 6 months ago, she was like punk rock girl. Painting people, and now she's like doing this. It's wonderful.
I like, since AEW loves like classic belts or not classic, loves custom belts. They need to make her like one that like sticks out in black and white. So like make it totally just like monotone.
Yes.
And in grayscale.
Yes. And then she should also have like an Oscar that she carries with her.
For no reason. Yes.
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 Well, that leads into my question.
Yes.
She became this because she lost the title. Mm-hmm. What does she do now that she has the title?
Hopefully it goes further off the deep end.
Well, me and Rick, we talked about this on the side. And I said, I think it would be great if like just this week, she's totally normal outcast Toni Storm. And people were like, why are you acting like this? She's like, what's the matter, guys? Like, I'm here. Hey. And they're like, no, you used to this other thing. And she's like, what are you talking about? Just because she has the title, it like shuts that part of her brain off.
I would like that. And then I would like the second, like even a minor thing goes wrong.
Yes.
She immediately reverts back to timeless Toni Storm. Like she, her music doesn't play properly and she just like flips out again. That would be great.
So good. But I am with Biddy. Like she 1000% has to go way off the deep end.
Yeah.
Like start calling things like cars automobiles and like
aeroplane.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, taking an auto gyro to the next event.
Yeah. Like
I was thinking she should like square up like a 1920s boxer.
Yes.
Like when they circle their fists in front of their face and like up high. She should be doing all that.
Yes.
It'd be great. Start demanding to speak to people who are long dead.
Yes.
Like, bring me this director from the 1920s.
She's like, I mean, like you just said, like, who would have thought that would have hit? But she's on a gold mine right now.
Is she the first person to come from anywhere, from like WWE or New Japan or anywhere, and just like make a brand new character for herself in AEW? I was thinking this.
You're not, yeah.
Because everyone else, like Danielson, is kind of Danielson still.
Yeah.
Mox is like a heightened version of what he was in WWE, but he's still, or like even Kenny Omega, the Bucks, they're kind of like just extensions of who they were before AEW. She's like a brand. She's a completely new character, completely new everything.
I'll and not that I know much of his work pre AEW, but I would say Daniel Garcia, because he was like, not strictly, but a lot of his matches were like pure rules, and like he learned how to be a TV wrestler, but I don't know to say that he totally changed, but he learned how to be a TV wrestler, if that makes sense.
Right. And he added a dance.
Which, again, who'd have thunk it? Like, that little stupid thing's making him so much money right now.
Yeah, the dance is more over like than anything he's ever done.
Well, yeah, like I just read an article the other day. Someone asked Nana about his dance, and they were like, how'd you come up with that? He was like, I walked out of the curtain and did it. And he was like, I've been in this business like 24 years or something. And he was like, I've done everything under the sun to hit, and that stupid dance hit. And he's like, I don't care. But of all things, I wasn't even trying. I just did it to be dumb.
I love the things that are over right now. Tony Storm, the Nana dance, Danny Garcia's thing. Even like Jake Hager's hat was over before.
Yeah.
MJF doing that like kangaroo kick.
The kangaroo kick.
These are all the silliest possible things. And they're all working for some reason.
Yeah. I love my hat. Oh, it was so good. Speaking of good, the ladder match, unbelievable.
Yeah, there was no way it was not going to be, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of JR. Remember in like the 90s, whenever they'd have a ladder match and he'd be like, people say they know how to fall. How do you learn how to fall off a ladder?
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, being like, like these guys are like, obviously it's all planned and scripted, but like, yeah, they're still falling off ladders.
Yeah.
Brody King's Gonzo bomb on Dralistico from the apron onto the ladder when Brody's thigh breaks the actual leg of the ladder, like, and then he just stands up. Like, I just still been laying on the ground.
Yeah, it's like anything with Darby. Like, how do they just get up? I don't get it.
Yeah, it was like, that match was nuts, and
it was good.
Nuts in a way that I don't want to sound. It's just going to sound bad when I say this, but like, it was violent in a good way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
It wasn't too violent, like where you're like, oh, whoa, that was nuts. But it was like, okay, you're going to break that suspension of disbelief. Like, these people, like, yes, they're pro wrestlers, like you said, but you can't throw someone through a ladder fake.
Right.
Yeah. And it wasn't more violent than it needed to be. Like, we'll talk about it later, but like the Swerve Hangman thing, like the level of violence there was appropriate for the feud that they were in.
Yes.
Whereas these guys, like, they don't really hate each other. Like, they all want the tag titles. They're all like professional rivals, but it's not like FTR and Roosh like want to murder one another. Like, they don't. So it was a acceptable level of violence.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And the tag chant for Tane. That was awesome.
So my question for this one is,
yes,
these guys were all kind of variously feuding with each other, all the teams.
Yeah.
Are they done? Do they all move on to something else? Or do they stay?
Honestly, I would like the Brody and Malachi, Kings of the Black Throne. I would like them to stay in the tag title picture. Just be like, I get the triples belt, but trios, I'm sorry, the trios belt picture, but I like them as a tag team better, and Buddy as a singles wrestler. And LFI, I would like to see in Ring of Honor, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that would make sense. I do feel like the tag titles and the trios titles are kind of cannibalizing each other. Like, a lot of the same guys are in both those divisions, and since the trios titles came out, the tag titles have there's either been a period where the trios titles mattered the most and the tag titles were forgotten, or where the tag titles mattered the most and the trios titles were kind of forgotten. Like right now, like the Acclaimed have them, but what are they really doing?
Right.
Yeah. Like, they're entertaining, but they're not really in like feuds or matches. I don't know. The presence of both of them is kind of diluting everything for me.
Yeah. I was always under the impression, like, to me, like the trios titles, like, yeah, they make sense, but I'm going to give WWE credit for once. It would make more sense for them to have trios titles, because that would get 6 more people on TV a week, because they have way more people. Like, AEW kind of struggles sometimes to, like, yeah, there's like a handful of trios, and then it'll be like, hey, it's the Elite City podcast people versus Kings of the Black Throne. It's like, yeah, like
I think we could win.
Definitely. I would just get Malachi and Brody talking about music, and then you guys could somehow distract Buddy and Julia.
There you go. I think it's part of the problem is like a lot of the trios are a tag team plus a guy.
That too.
So it's like if you put House of Black in a trios match, then you're losing a tag team.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Interesting though.
We'll see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen. So.
Yeah. Moving on. Yeah. On.
Statlander.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Statlander match. TBS title match.
Title match. Oh,
that was a banger.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a really good match.
It was so good.
It was my match of the night until the match that followed it. But wow. We did learn that it was three-way rules, which AEW is very bad at explaining that. Like everybody calls it something different.
They're very bad at explaining rules for most things. That's one of their problems.
Yeah, but like Taz kept calling it a three-way dance, and then as we discovered, that was only an ECW thing. That's probably why he called it that. And then,
whereas a three-way dance, it's like an elimination.
Elimination, right? Yeah. So so we learned that it was a three-way. It was Julia Hart, Chris Statlander, and Sky Blue. And I'm looking on Wikipedia. It said this match was only 12 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. It seemed, well, that shows you how good it was, because it seemed like it was way longer in a good way.
Right.
Julia and Sky Blue have both improved by like an insane amount.
So much.
Yeah.
God, Julia has one of the most beautiful moonsaults ever. Like she floats.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
That cheerleading.
Yeah.
And I liked Sky's new character twist where she has different themes. She has a bit of a different outfit. It works for her.
Yeah. Sky has, like, if you guys haven't, watch her AEW Unrestricted or watch her on AEW, because that girl is wild. She physically got excommunicated from the Catholic Church, from the Vatican, because when she was little, she lit an altar boy on fire. Like, she tells the story, and RJ City's face is like, that's not a work. And she's like,
I feel like there's details there that I'm missing out.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the girl is like, her stories are great. And she was like, yeah, if you don't believe me, call my mom, my poor mother. Like, and she just says it like the sweetest voice. She's like, oh yeah, my poor mother. And RJ's like, you lit a kid on fire? And she's like, yeah, we got a letter from the Vatican saying I'm no longer allowed to enter a Catholic building.
Wow.
That's metal.
Okay.
Yeah, it is metal.
Maybe she should have joined House of Black for real.
Yeah.
So yeah, if at least watch her AEW. It's like 12 minutes. It's like you just laugh the whole time, and she's dead serious, and RJ's like, like he's just speechless. It's great. But anyways, yeah, she has come a long way.
The best part of this is that Biddy guessed Julia, and then we bullied her into changing her mind,
which
so that she couldn't win the prediction contest.
She went from first to last.
Damn it!
Like Biddy, like literally, I wish you could have. We're like, she wins every time. Like seriously, how is she this good? We're going back and forth because you're smoking us at the beginning. Like,
and then I was sure you picked Julia, so like, damn it, she won, didn't she?
Yeah, because we were like, oh, we might as well just quit watching it now, like, because it's mathematically impossible.
And then Blast was like, no, she changed her mind. I'm like, awesome.
Damn it.
I was like, yeah. And then, like I said, it was weird. Like, you crushed the beginning, Biddy. Like I said, it was 3-0, like, early. And let's see, that was the 8th match. So, yeah, you were maybe had like 4 wins by then. And I won like 3 in a row. And no, I won 4 in a row because I tied you. And I was like, oh, man, Rick, if I win the next one. and then
I cleaned up at the end.
And then Rick cleaned up at the end. Rick ended up tying me. I couldn't get ahead. It was neat how it worked because it was legitimately not over until the main event.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was real fun.
So my question for this.
Yes.
Does Stat go to the world title now?
I think she should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's Toni Storm?
Yeah.
Put her in there. I'm glad you brought this up. Put her in there and like obviously just don't like throw her at the bottom, but maybe don't even give her a win against one of the top girls like right away. Maybe like let her go like 0-2 and then she could be like, "My, what's going on?" And then, and then her like click like, "Wait a minute, this is like a quote unquote different division. I have to step my game up."
That makes sense.
I just think that'd be cool to differentiate between the two titles too. Like, yeah, she dominated down there, but the world title picture is a different scene.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I like that a lot.
Thank you. Biddy, I know you got a lot to say about this match because you talked about it in our group. So
I don't remember what I said.
Well, good stuff.
Moving on.
Okay, we'll all have something to say about the next match.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Texas Death Match, Swerve Strickland versus Hangman.
I had to take a break halfway through it because I was like it was intense.
It was something.
Go outside, take some deep breaths.
Yeah. I mean, this was the Jesus H. Christ match of the night. I mean, that's all you could say that it was.
He drank blood.
It was badass. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh.
That was as gnarly as it gets, but gnarlier the better. I mean, that was cool.
Who do you think came up with that?
I think that just happened. Honestly, because no one's going to okay that with like bloodborne disease. Like,
I feel like Hangman would have to like tell him, like, hey, just so you know, you don't have anything, right? That I'm gonna get if I drink your blood. Like, I don't know.
Well, no, but you know what? Then again, I bet you. I take back my statement. I bet you wrestlers have to test a lot because they bleed. They're probably.
They probably test for like hepatitis and stuff.
Yeah, it's probably like.
I would hope so.
Well, we'll at least say AEW and WWE do. I don't know about indie.
Yeah, I don't think indies test for anything. But
right. So
before we get into the match,
yeah,
why was there so much biting on this pay-per-view?
I don't know.
Like every other match, someone was biting somebody, and like it works sometimes. But like, do you need to bite in like I think I checked like 5 of the 8 main card matches had biting in them.
Sick.
If you take out the I don't think there's any biting in the women's matches. So then there's like I think just the first one. Well, actually, was there any biting in the 6-man? The Copeland Christian? There was, right?
Yeah. Darby bit someone.
And like Mox and Orange bit each other. I don't know if there's any biting in the ladder match. Then there was this one.
Did you,
MJF bit Jay White in the main? That's at least 4.
Did you watch any of the media scrum? Because
no.
Orange talks about this. He's like, there's like Tony Khan's like, "Oh, Orange, thank you. That was a great match." And, blah, blah, blah. You just put everything out there. You gave your heart. And he was like, well, like half the time a man was biting me. So like, I really didn't have a choice. But it was just like totally in character. Like, didn't crack a smile. It's like, like half the time a guy was biting me. It's so good.
I think this is a thing where, like, to give credit to WWE again, I think they kind of need like an overarching guy if there's going to be a biting spot in a match to like be like, oh, we've already had 3 of those tonight.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it again because it's
that's
like
enough,
not that it's like
bites.
not just biting, like just repeating the same thing match after match. It's like I get that you would do that in a real fight if it's effective.
Right.
But on a wrestling card, like if someone's going to do a spot, you don't need to have it happen 4 other times that night.
Right. And that makes me think of like a lot of these men and women are, like I said earlier, you have to learn how to be a TV wrestler,
right,
as opposed to like, oh, I'm wrestling at the VFW tomorrow. There's nothing wrong with that. But in a show like that, the crowd really doesn't notice, oh, there were 19 moonsaults tonight. Like they're in the moment. You probably talked to your opponent 10 minutes before you went on.
Right.
Like a TV wrestler, you need to be a little more prepared for exact reasons like this.
Even Jericho said that he was, I think before All In, he talked to Punk, and because Jericho was going to do like a top rope Hurricane Rana or something, and he went and talked to Punk, being like, I know you do that sometimes. Are you doing it today? Because if you're doing it today, I won't.
Right.
But that's because it's like Chris Jericho and CM Punk who've done this for forever.
And understand how a TV wrestling show works.
Right.
You know, like don't step on anyone's toes. There's enough to go around type deal. Yeah.
Right.
Like definitely.
I feel like they should have been the bites and like maybe it's kind of Mox's thing. So like I feel like Mox should be allowed to do it. That it should happen in that match. And then maybe not at all anywhere else. Because
yeah, I agree with that.
It's a little much.
but
the whole thing was a little much, but in a good way.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well,
that's my first question. Was it too much or was it an appropriate amount?
I have to say it was too much because I even said to you, like, oh, good God, I had to look away a couple times.
I was like, this is like a stuff film.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, it makes sense.
That's what I was just gonna say. It wasn't unjust.
And it was
violence.
Like it was meaningful violence. Like the problem I had with when Mox fought Hangman in a Texas death match was like he got hit in the head with a brick and then kind of just moved on.
Right.
And if you're gonna do something like that, it should mean something. Like the Staples thing was a lot, but it kind of meant something, right? Like it was like Hangman was kind of like humiliating him, and then he stapled like the kid's drawing to his face, which is
I know.
First, side note, was that an actual kid's drawing, or did Hangman do that backstage?
It was the one on Hangman's fridge.
Yeah.
Right, but did Hangman do that, or did he literally have his kid like, hey kid, finger paint this. I'm gonna staple this to a guy's face on his toe next month. So I need a finger painting.
And I actually made a note about this spot, which I'm glad you brought up. Did you guys notice that Hangman did it in the wrong spot and it didn't stick the first time because it hit his cheekbone?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't imagine the pain. Like the staple literally flew out because it hit bone.
Yeah. And then, the payoff of all of it was Swerve getting up eventually and then stapling himself to be like, I don't care. Like, that was that was a great spot. It was gory and brutal, but it was a great spot.
Oh, I also love the people. Like they were like, well, there's probably only like 10 staples in there. Oh, okay, if there's one, like they still did it. Like I don't care. I don't need like a full sleeve of staples for that to be effective.
Right. like I remember I worked at like a garden center when I was in like school during the summer, and I remember some guy had a staple gun and he was like shooting staples at the other people in the store, and like someone went and reached her hand out to be like, stop. And pushed her hand against it, and he put a staple through her finger.
Ooh.
And like just that, like the amount of blood from just like one staple into someone's hand was, and like she was in horrible pain. And that's like a single staple, right? This was like even if it's 10, that's 10 staples in a person.
Yeah, done like again. I know the adrenaline's flying, and maybe not in that moment they didn't feel it, but later that night when you're home laying in bed and calm and the adrenaline's not pumping.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna suck.
Did you see a video Swerve posted? He went to a football game the next day in LA, and they had the team did a like whose house, and then they cheered for the team, obviously. And he was like, there's just a shot of him shaking his head, being like, that's my thing. But like people were like, he went through all this and it was like, you know what, I'll go to a football game tomorrow. Like not just I'm gonna sleep and rest because I'm in horrible pain. He's like, no, I got a football game to go to. I'm just going to that. Like
wrestlers are a different breed, man.
Great stuff. The whole thing.
Great stuff.
What did you think of
you guys?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is this the best thing that Hangman's done in AEW?
Yes.
I liked his feud with Kenny. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
But this was really good. The whole feud was good. The match was good.
Yeah.
It's at least up there.
The promos. Oh my goodness.
The promos were excellent. They were better than anything he's done for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Now, here's the next thing. It's now tied. Like, I just realized that. Like, that was Hangman Swerve 2. It's 1-1. We have to have a
won
third.
The first one, but he cheated, didn't he?
Right, but it's still 1-1. Like, you have to have a rubber match now. I just realized.
Swerve won both of them, didn't he?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. He won the first one, too.
Oh, he did.
He hit Hangman with Nana's crown.
That's right. Okay.
But that was going to be my question. Is this over, or do they do it again?
I feel like it can't be over yet.
Yeah,
now Hangman hasn't gotten his revenge.
I agree with you, but
that's
how
what I was
do
just
you
gonna say.
Follow that?
What
do you do next?
If I'm fantasy booking here, I run to my best friends and executive vice presidents and demand a fair rematch. And then it could get like the Bucks involved being babies, like taking care of their friends before like real business.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a good story.
Yeah. That's what I would do. I would just
I saw someone say that AEW has never done like a Hell in a Cell type thing, like a cage with a roof, and
ooh,
could they do something like that for this? I mean, it was just a ripoff for WWE, but everything's a ripoff of everything. So
right.
Because like I feel like going from this to like a regular cage match isn't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, unless
he could say, you know, Brian Cage interfered, Prince Nana interfered, so I want a match where it's just us, no one can get in.
Or do you have another barbed wire match if they're into it?
Yeah, because it has to be bigger than this now.
What about an exploding ring and then it doesn't explode?
Actually, the thing is, that match was actually good. It was just the explosion was pitiful, but like the match was good.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't know what they do. They'd have to do something. They'd have to do something where he has to say, I want you without any interference.
Right. So
it'd have to be something like a cage or a cell or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it would be.
And you're right, because then that will give you finality. Like if you lock them in something or
Because he could say, "Oh, the first time you hit me with Nana's crown, and the second time Brian Cage came out, so like I want a match where like it's fair. There's no assistance. There's just us."
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah,
but it would have to be more than a cage match, I feel, because a cage match isn't brutal enough.
Maybe they invent something or bring something back that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I'm trying to think there's something that like WCW did that they would bring back.
There's dog collar match, but Punk would probably have a fit.
and I mean, you could still interfere in that.
True.
Dog collar match and a cage, or like add two things together. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean that'd be fun too.
I don't know, but I agree with both of you. I think they have to do one more.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't seem like it's, and I think like at this point, that's my. I had 3 questions for this match because it was so good.
Yeah,
is Swerve now just established main event guy?
He should be
1000%.
Yeah,
I think so. So like I feel like
he's so good,
and I feel like he could lose the final to Hangman and it would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like they need him to win to put him over as a main event guy. I think he's there now.
So sick. Moving on or
let's move on.
Okay.
Worst possible match to follow. I mean, I know it would be hard to follow for anyone. Worst possible choice. I mean, I'm glad they didn't put the women's match there because I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
So that's good that they didn't do that. But
did you guys notice that they did not clean the blood off of the ropes?
Yes. Yeah, I did notice
and
that.
And it kept coming. I was like, why didn't they just run like a
Lysol wipe or something over the ropes?
Yeah, anything. Like a towel, like an old T-shirt that one of the wrestlers threw at ringside.
Did you also notice all the I don't know what it was but white powder on the outside to soak up all the blood?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, I didn't see that either. That's awesome.
They cleaned up pretty fast though.
They did.
It was impressive. They they must have changed the whole canvas obviously and cleaned up.
They did it because you can still see blood spots.
Yeah, there were blood spots on the canvas for sure.
All right. Well, there you go. That was fast.
Yeah. Then we had
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, the Golden Jets and the Bucks. That's all I ever hear.
I get why they put it here because they were like, "Oh, everyone likes Jericho's song. That'll wake the crowd up because the crowd's going to be exhausted after the death match."
Yeah,
I get that. I get that the Bucks are from California. They're going to make the crowd excited, but no, it didn't work. Just like they did at all. They did that at Forbidden Door too, which I went to, but I don't know if any of you.
Wow.
Oh wait,
impressive.
What?
I was there. Everyone was tired, and then they were like, "We're gonna have the JAS versus Sting and whoever," and I was just like, "Just go to Danielson. What are you doing?"
Right.
And of course, this match was 10 minutes longer than it should have been.
Yeah, I think I even messaged you on that. Like, if this match would have been like 15 minutes, it'd have been not perfect, but I'd have been okay with it being 15.
And it'd be fine. It'd be like a cool down from the last match. Like, it's not super high intensity. It's just like what you needed it to be. But of course, it went too long.
Yeah. And looking on Wikipedia, it only went 20 minutes, so maybe 15 was even too long.
Yeah, I think 10. Like it felt like 10 minutes. I zoned out, and it was late. I was already tired. I was just like, just move on. I just want to go on to them.
I watched it yesterday and I zoned out.
Yeah.
And it was like 5:00 in the, I'm just like, oh. Well,
So
I forgot that it was happening, and it was like, oh, the next match is Golden Jets. I was like, oh, damn it.
It was really a match where you're just move on to the next. I don't want to see this. I want to go. There's another match I'd rather see. Just move on to it. Why are you doing this to me? But,
why do you do this, Tony Khan?
Jericho's got to just be like his best friend, right? That's what it must be. Like they're like best buddies,
and it has to be. Or there's like it's either their best buds or like what's Tony Khan gonna say? It's like I understand he owns a company and he can't say anything to anybody, but like there's that weird wrestling respect that people have for vets. So maybe he's just like, you know what? Yeah, let him get it out of his system. He'll retire in a few years.
I mean, Jericho has value, but I don't think this is the value.
I agree.
Yeah. I think they're going to win the tag belts. I think that's where we're going with this.
Oh,
I think that's what happens.
Okay, I might be mad on the internet if that happens.
I think that's where it's going because Jericho is going to want to have a tag belt too.
Oh God.
So that's my question. That's not my question. My question is the Bucks had their like little tantrum afterwards, which was which was the wrong level of tantrum. I think I messaged you. You could either have a tantrum be funny because it's so silly and like laying on the floor banging your fist on the ground, or you could have it be like you're angry and mad and serious. It was like in between the two.
It was definitely in the middle, yeah.
It was not silly enough, but it was still like bang the chair on the ring. Like, what are you doing? Like it was not silly. It was not serious. It was just like, I get what you're doing, but it's not hitting. Like it was just a little. So anyway, that's my question. What are the Bucks doing? Because they also had Brandon tweet that they're like, or X or whatever it's called.
Yeah. That
they're taking some time off and that BTE is done or on hiatus. Or like, what are they doing? What's this Bucks leaving thing? Where's that going?
Wholeheartedly leaning into the personas that Punk deemed them, like whatever Punk said they were on the internet, that's exactly what they're going to be.
I mean, I would kind of hope for that because I want them to just like, but like the problem with the Bucks is they can't do anything sincerely, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like when their faces, they're like kind of smarmy, like we know we're just kidding around kind of guys. Like they can't do it. They can't be like sincere faces where they're like, hardworking guys who just want to win a title. And when they're heels, they can't just be mean jerks. They have to be like, we're mean jerks, but nudge, nudge, wink, wink. This is all game, right? Like it's all like.
See, that's what I like about it.
No, I think if they're going to be obnoxious, they should just be obnoxious and like just be
true.
Just be obnoxious and don't like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We're all friends. We're just playing around. Like just be obnoxious. Like just
I mean, they're good at it.
Yeah. Like just go.
Yeah.
Pun intended. All in on just like being obnoxious jerks who like nobody likes. Like just go for it and don't have. I think it was Jericho once when he turned heel in WWE. I'll give him credit. He said like when you're a heel, you have to take out any redeeming quality that you have. And anything that anybody would like, which he's not doing right now, because when he was a heel, he still had his like Judas song and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Take out anything that anybody would like about you. Take out the yelling BTE trigger. Take out the insider wrestling references. Just be jerks.
Yeah,
I think that would work.
That would totally work, especially with them, because it is so opposite of what they are.
Yeah, I think they could do it. Just be like annoying. Just be still be annoying. Still be like full of yourself and like egotistical and whatever. But like take out all the cool indie internet stuff that you do, and just be guys that people don't like.
Yeah,
I hope that's what they do.
I agree. Now, that's awesome. And finally, main event time. MJF versus Jay White with, for some reason, the guns, which how'd you feel about that?
They got yeeted pretty fast.
Yeah, they didn't. I get what they were doing. That's the negative that people have against this match, is that they kind of stacked the entire card against MJF. Like, he was injured and they attacked him before the match and the guns were there and whatever, and Jay White still lost. So I don't get it. Like, I get it, sort of, that people were upset, like, oh, they made Jay White look really bad because it was all stacked in his favor and he still lost. But isn't that wrestling? Like,
Yeah.
Like, Stone Cold Steve Austin's whole thing was like everything was stacked against him and he still won. Like, that was his whole, that he did that for years, right? Like, and it worked. So I don't know. I was fine with the guns because it was kind of, they're stacking the whole thing against MJF and he was going to overcome it. And that was fine. I liked it. I didn't like the stuff with Adam Cole. I thought that was weird.
That was kind of cheesy.
Having him step in to replace MJF, because like obviously he wasn't going to replace MJF. Like he couldn't walk.
Right.
And the fact that they took MJF to a hospital was like, we can't clear you to fight the main event, but we can clear this guy who obviously can't walk.
Right. Right.
I like
that was weird.
He stole the ambulance.
I did like that. That was fun. It was silly, but
and then he couldn't get out of it.
That was great. And I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Excalibur or Nigel, when they were like, oh, and MJF just committed a felony stealing a public vehicle to come back to the arena.
I'm so glad they had Nigel all night. Like,
yeah, he's good. I like him.
God, he's so
very good. He's really good.
Now, him and Danielson at all in next year.
I hope so.
Anyway,
do we think? I have two questions for this one as well. Just I feel like we don't need to go over the details of the match because everyone who's listening to this probably saw it. Adam Cole seemed to not be able to use his arms. like when MJF was in danger, Adam Cole could just like stand there and yell, but like just reach into the ring and grab the thing that they're trying to hit him with. Like he put the ring on the apron, and then Jay White was going for it, and he just did nothing. Like he's just take it back, right in front of you. You have your ankle's broken, not your arm, right? You could have just you could have just grabbed it. Like,
use your crutch to like knock it out of the way. Like there was 10,000. Yeah.
Do 10, we think that was on purpose? Like he wasn't actually trying to help MJF.
Oh, I see what you're saying. A little inside baseball.
That's what I thought. He's acting like he's trying to help MJF, but he's not really. Like he's pretending. He's like faking it. Like, I'll give you the ring, but I know Jay's going to take it, and I'm not going to stop him.
That's awesome, because then that would be the second ring spot that backfired on MJF.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was
Wardlow did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's sick. Good eye.
I thought that because otherwise Adam Cole's like the dumbest person.
Right. Right. That's a good call, dude. For real.
I thought that's what it might have been. And then my other question is, what do you do with Jay White now? Because he did the Bullet Club kind of failed at this. What is he doing now?
Well,
it seems like they're moving towards MJF versus Samoa Joe.
Well, there's still the wild card thing. Or wild card as in the devil. Like,
right.
Does it have to do with Jay White and the Bullet Club? Like, could that be how they're going to keep them entwined? Or as far as like Jay White goes, if you don't do anything, man, that's like kind of in a pickle. I don't want to take him out.
I was thinking the problem is there's not very many like faces he could go up against. Like Hangman would work, but if Hangman's still doing something with Swerve,
right?
Unless they're going to do Bullet Club against like the BCC.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Maybe Jay White is on like one of the people on Danielson's list that he wants to work this year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So maybe they were like, okay, we'll bring you to this. This gets you in the main spotlight so people know. If they didn't know you before, they will know who you are. And then, let's say in January, February, Danielson comes out. It's like, hey, okay, this is my last run. The first guy wants Jay White. Like,
that would work.
That would be,
be cool.
That would be fun. Just a yep from Biddy.
Yep. Sorry.
Yep. No, it's just funny.
So pretty sure our match of the night was all the same, right?
Yeah.
The death match.
Yeah. I mean,
that and the TBS.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the death match, I would have said the TBS title match for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, like as I said earlier, literally was my match of the night, and then that happened.
Yeah. But I liked the main event. I know a lot of people were down on it. It was not like a 5-star classic New Japan typical AEW main event. I get that it was like a sports entertaining-ish main event, but like it's fine. And it had a story. And like when Adam Cole had the shirt and he was going to throw it in, like I was legitimately like, is he actually going to, like I was thinking whether or not he was going to do it, right? Like it had a story that kept me involved and invested, and I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Now see, going back to what you just said about the shirt, like you could have a segment with them and MJF being like, why didn't you throw it in? You saw I was begging and in trouble. Like, you didn't care about my health?
Or you could go, oh, why were you even considering throwing it in? Because I would have lost the title, and you know how much that means to me.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Yeah.
Either way.
Oh, man, we only have a few more hours till wrestling starts. Sick.
I've got nothing else. You guys?
No, I need to go back to work, so.
I was just going to say one final thing. What was everybody's, like, 1 out of 10?
I don't think it was as strong as their, other pay-per-views, but I also don't think it's as bad as the internet was saying. So I'd say like a 7.
Yeah, I was thinking like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I would guess 7.5, 8. At first, I was higher on it. And I think that was just because I was mad at the people on the internet. Like it was a 50, like idiots.
I think in terms of like overall wrestling pay-per-view, very good. It just in terms of the stuff AEW typically puts out.
Right. They've set such a high bar that.
Yeah. But even if this was like their worst show of the year, it was still really, really good.
Right.
And I enjoyed all of it.
Still entertained.
1,000%. So yeah. On that note, we're gonna head on out. So make sure to like, subscribe, share, pass it along too. Word of mouth, people. Tell one person. That's all we ask.
There you go.
Yeah.
And happy American Thanksgiving to our American friends.
Hope you enjoy like your pie or turkey or whatever you're having.
Deep fried turkey, baby. Woo!
Air fried turkey. Ooh.
I don't think deep frying turkeys is a thing here. But anyway. Yeah. Pumpkin pie, thoughts on pumpkin pie? It's a controversial subject, but I love it.
One of my only pies I like.
It's outstanding.
Oh, it's the best.
With Cool Whip.
Yeah.
Really yeah. And then football. The old American pastime. Sit on the couch with my dad tomorrow, drink some beers, have him complain about everything under the sun. That'll be awesome.
My mom is very excited to drink wine with me. So
there you go.
Nice.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to both of you.
Thank you.
Why, thank you.
Maybe I'll have some pie too in your honor.
Sick.
Are you going to air fry it?
Can you air fry pie? Maybe you probably can.
You can air fry anything, dude. Come on. As long as it fits in a basket. Put anything
there you
go. All right. So until next week, everybody. Later.